With all the censorship big tech is engaged in, it's critical that you sign up for our free newsletter at Infowars.com/newsletter. You will get breaking news, videos, great deals at InfoWarsStore.com, and all the latest articles with key intel and analysis. Get around the electronic Berlin Wall by signing up for our newsletter at Infowars.com/newsletter. Yet another mass shooting immediately politicized by Beto O'Rourke, this time in Odessa and Midland, Texas, where 7 were reported dead and as many as 21 injured. Like an ambulance chaser, if there is a mass shooting in Texas, you can guarantee Beto O'Rourke will be there to grab the national spotlight before all of the information is in and the families have had time to realize what happened, much less heal.
Not sure how many gunmen, not sure how many people have been shot. Don't know how many people have been killed, the condition of those who have survived. Don't know what the motivation is, do not yet know the firearms that were used or how they acquired them. But we do know this is up.
The Dallas Morning News reported that Frank Pomeroy, a pastor at the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs, where a mass shooting took the lives of 26 people, including Pomeroy's daughter, revealed O'Rourke for what he is. Pomeroy said he was angered by the response of some politicians to the recent mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton. He specifically mentioned Beto O'Rourke, saying the former El Paso congressman and current presidential candidate politicized the event. Pomeroy said, rather than putting their political ideologies aside for a while, they turned people into political pawns. Those people need grace, they needed hands, they needed hugs. But that isn't stopping Beto. He is, of course, making the rounds on liberal mainstream media less than 36 hours after the shooting.
So Texas, and I'm not going to go through them all, but guns in church and in mosques and synagogues, having guns where you're worshiping. This is one that I found particularly frightening. House Bill 302 prevents landlords from restricting tenants and their guests from carrying firearms in lease agreements and prevents property owners association from banning storage of guns in rental properties. Well, for God's sakes, the people who are committing mass shootings, where do they think they store their guns? They're in their apartments. They're in their homes. So what you're saying is if I'm a responsible landlord, I can't say, that guy that's got like 15 AR-15s that lives in my place, I can't kick him out. Yeah. I have to let him carry. Well, that doesn't sound like that's going to prevent mass shootings. A lot of this stuff sounds like, to be honest, to be blunt, it's making it easier for mass shooters.
Absolutely. And these are instruments of terror.
Of course, what Beto and his liberal cohorts won't face is the fact that it is becoming obvious that the only recourse against this wave of mass shooters is to exercise our Second Amendment rights.
Every one of those shots represented someone, that it was aimed at someone, that they weren't just random shots, more than likely. I grabbed a handful of ammunition and started loading my magazine. I ran outside. I didn't even take time to put my shoes on. And then I saw a man in a black tactical helmet with a dark shaded helmet on, and obviously looked to me like it was bulletproof vest. And he had a pistol in his hand. And we exchanged gunfire.
The Democrats' gun-free zones have been the go-to hunting grounds for roughly 96% of mass shootings since 1998. All gun debating aside, why is it that we are led to believe that a wave of white nationalism is behind all of the mass shootings? Anybody can see that there are a variety of faces on this graphic of 2019 mass shooters. Not to mention that there was a mass shooting in Alabama between black folks the day before Odessa that was completely ignored by mainstream media.
Mobile police say at least 10 teens were shot.
I tried to protect as many as I possibly could. I told them to get down.
Mobile police say all of those injured were teens, ranging in age from 15 to 18.
Not to mention at least 20 of the mass shootings in 2019 have been in Chicago.
This August, 288 people were shot and 46 people were killed.
All of it ignored because it doesn't fit the liberal media's divide and conquer narrative. The only feasible reason for the dangerous pattern of propaganda unleashed on the American public is that the Democrats are fomenting a divide so deep that they will bring order out of chaos through a manufactured race war that no real American wants. John Bound reporting. Cognitive dissonance is a major issue amongst the left. It can be very stressful dealing with facts you refuse to accept. If you have a family member suffering from this degenerative mental condition, buy them a bottle of Ultimate Fish Oil from InfoWarsStore.com. Studies have suggested that fish oils and fish oil supplementation can slightly lower blood pressure, decrease triglyceride levels, decrease the growth rate of plaque, and provide a soothing reduction in inflammatory responses in joints and the digestive system. Recent studies have suggested that high EPA and DHA fish oil can stimulate immune function by increasing the concentration and activity of immune cells. Perhaps that family member or friend's mind is shorting out with leftist fantasies due to a lack of the supplementation found in Ultimate Fish Oil. It worked for my family, and now I can have a logical and calm discussion about actual facts that pertain to reality. Get your Ultimate Fish Oil for a friend, family,